Hey guys, it's Diane from Diane Hockman here, and I had lots of requests for training about prospecting and building relationships on Facebook. So I'm going to do one here right now, and I asked for, normally we'd be obviously dealing with somebody we don't know, but I did ask for permission from some people asking who would give me permission to use their profile to demonstrate on, and the incredible Richard Bravo of richardbravo.com gave me his permission. So thank you, Richard. Richard's just a great guy, and you guys should get to know him. So what I want to do is I want you to imagine that what we're doing is we're meeting people. Okay, we're meeting people on Facebook. Now, some people have their whole profile blocked, and if they do and you can't see, there's not much you can do. But most people, before you try to send a friend request or when you're meeting them in the different groups and things on Facebook, you're able to see much of their profile. And what you want to do, I'm going to show you the key areas that you want to look in, because what you're doing is you're looking to see, one, is this person somebody I potentially enjoy getting to know, potentially enjoy doing business with? And if they look like they have nothing in common with you, they're probably not going to be a good match. But what we're doing is, first of all, first thing I do is I'm looking up here, I want to see what they got going on. Richard looks like a total pro. Sometimes you get someone, they don't look like they got anything going on, but you can tell Richard has a clue. He has some nice graphics and so on. Now, I'm looking over here to see what they say, matrix extraction specialist. So, you can tell Richard's been around the block. He kind of has a clue of what he's doing. Now, I'm looking to see, do we have friends in common? Is this somebody who's in the industry? But here's where I'm generally going right away on that about. Okay, I'm looking to see what this guy is up to. I want to read his information, his profile stuff. Notice that most people have their phone numbers listed. Yes, believe it or not, everybody's phone number's sitting right out there. And then we have a link, and I can go over and take a look at his blog. I can read his, he doesn't have a big description here, as some people do. So I'm looking and scanning, and we can go back to his main page, and I'm looking and scanning to see what is there that I can chat or build a relationship with Richard about. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send him a friend request. Okay, now we are already friends. If we weren't, I'd send him a friend request. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click and send him a message. And this message is going to tell him about either what we have in common or why we should be friends, because everybody under the sun, look at mine. I have 483 friend requests sitting here. None of these people wrote me a note. That's why they're still sitting here. Anybody who writes me a note, I peek at them real quick. I generally accept them as a friend. The people who don't write me a note, it's when I have room or when I get around to it. So with Richard, and I'm doing this real time, guys, so if it looks like I'm slow and it's not all fancy, it's because I'm really legitimately looking for something to talk about. So, for example, if I'm into, he has two things about the cello here, okay? He has Yo-Yo Ma. If you know who Yo-Yo Ma is, he's the foremost cellist probably in the world. So I might talk to him about music if I'm into music. Looking to see, might talk to him about somebody we know in common, like Dave Katecki. We both know Dave. I might say, hey, I see you know Dave too. What a guy, something like that. I'm looking to see what turns me on about Richard, what's fun to talk about. Okay, what you don't want to do, and this is what everybody does. Hi, I noticed we have 152 friends in common. Looks like we'd be a good match. It's like, don't do cut and paste, one size fits all, because it just doesn't work. So I'm going to write something like this. Now, we happen to have a previous little, let me move this up because we have previous communications. And you can see I was sending him big hugs. But I might say, hey, Richard, just saw you in the whatever, blank group. Sent you, by the way, don't mind my typing. If you've never trained with me, I'm a terrible typist. Get over it. Sent you a friend request. I love that you dig yo ma. Me too. did you play an instrument in high school? Okay. Now when I do this, whoops, don't mind me again. Sorry guys, SCH. When I do this, when I ask them a question like this, first thing is I'm not doing the typical, hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. I love meeting like-minded individuals. We have 152 friends in common. Let's get to know each other. You know, that cheesy kind of stuff that everybody does. I'm not doing that. I'm talking to him about, I'm telling him where I found him. I'm talking to him about, you know, something that's on his profile to let him know that I'm interested in him. And here's a key thing. I asked him a question. Now, when somebody gets a message like that, one, they're generally going to accept their friend request right off the bat. And nowadays, Facebook is really tight with letting you send so many friend requests. So you got to make sure that the ones you send get accepted. And then two, when you ask someone a question, they are almost obligated by their brain to reply to you, okay? Now, if you're lucky, you're going to end up hitting something, you know, maybe we come to find out that he was a cellist in high school and he loves cello music and he was a statewide cello champion or something. And I might hit the jackpot and end up having this whole conversation with him about music. But I also he may just be, nah, I just like classical music lately, you know, and we have a nice conversation. Now, that's forging the base of the relationship. And a lot of people will be like, well, that's great, Diane, but I didn't come to talk about cellos. I came to sell my stuff. Okay, what you're doing is you're meeting lots of people on Facebook and you're getting them to notice who you are. So that way, when you post on Facebook, the people that you've met and kind of activated to you are much more likely to read your posts. I do whole trainings on this about the reticular activation system that you have in your mind that causes you to start to notice certain people and certain things. You're trying to get people to notice what you have going on. That way, when you promote a webinar, when you promote something, when you are talking about something that's going on, they're much more likely to click on a link or to go look to see what you're talking about. So let me give you an example. I'm not really going to send this to Richard, but you get an idea. Let's go back over to my profile. And what I just did was I just put up, there it is, tomorrow afternoon, or in the evening, UK time, I'm doing a webinar where we're promoting an upcoming training event that's going on in the UK. So I just posted, hey, there's a training coming up. Go here and register. Now, all these people that I have these relationships with, they're likely to notice that. And especially if they're in the UK, they're very likely to click and they're very likely to register. So all the people that I've met by doing the process I just showed you are always noticing what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And because of this, when I speak on Facebook, I tend to have, you know, here's this thing. I just said something silly. I have 31 comments. I have, you know, thread after thread after thread that there's just tons of comments. This, you know, I send out an email and, you know, the email is actually selling something and everybody's reading it and opening it. I'm edifying other people that I know. This is Chalene Johnson. She's an amazing, you know, amazing woman. So I'm edifying and telling people, hey, get to know Chalene. Over here, I'm talking about Dave Lovett, who's an upline and team member that I work with. And so I'm just able to share stuff. Here's posts from my blog. And what happens is lots of people, you know, 17 comments over here, 32 comments over there. See, this is 41, 43 people like this. What that means is that my stuff is getting read. It means my offers are getting opened. So what is meeting someone and saying hi to a guy like Richard have to do with business? What does meeting anybody have to do? Look at this. I asked for whose profile can I use for a little bit of help, and all these people are going me, 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 me. Okay, so what does meeting a guy like Richard have to do with your business success? It has everything to do with it, because when you meet lots of people and you're cool and you don't go in there trying to quote unquote get everybody, but you get in there trying to see who's the right people for you, they're going to notice your stuff. And when you put out information about a presentation, about a new product, about a webinar, about a training, the next thing you know, you've loaded up your presentation. People are showing up. Why? Because they like you. MOUSE. But seriously, people come to receive marketing from those that they like. And isn't that true? That's what you do when you watch TV. You like a TV show, you enjoy it, it makes you feel good. You're willing to receive commercials during that TV show. So people who like you are going to be willing to receive and filter through the different offers that you're making. If you're a blatant salesperson, a blatant pitch person, nobody will enjoy you, nobody will like you, and therefore nobody will stay long enough for you to get your offers in front of them. So that's how you build relationships on Facebook. That's how you get to know people. It is not a waste of time. It's exceptionally lucrative, and it can brand you, and it can put tens and 20s and 30s and 50s and hundreds of people in front of your presentation so that you can become a top salesperson and top recruiter. So thank you, Richard Bravo. I appreciate you. As always, you're wonderful. And thank you to you, the reader, the watcher who's watching this video. If you like more training like this, definitely go over to DianeHochman.com, put in your name and email so you get everything I send out. And of course, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Diane Hochman. We'll see you next time.